Hey there guys, tonight we'll be taking a look at the brand new Value Trains USA ACF 50-foot boxcar. Now given that this is a piece of rolling stock, of course it'll be a shorter review, but we're still going to take it out, see what you're getting for the money, and just compare it to a few other products on the market. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So what makes this model different? Well, number one, Value Trains USA, as their name implies, this is made 100% in the United States. The body, the printing, everything's done stateside, which I think is really cool. It also comes equipped with Kadee couplers and trucks. Now all these are really good, and the car has a ton of weight. I popped the shell off of mine, just inspected when I got it, and there's 4 or 5 weights sitting in a row right here on the frame. So you're not getting an uber light car. This is actually heavier and rolls a lot better than most Athearn ready to run with metal wheels. And just to prove that, we're going to uncouple it from the locomotive. Now my layout's uneven, and that's how well it rolls on its own. So looking at the paint scheme, this is really cool. This is of course an homage to UP 1996 in the daylight livery, and this has always been one of my favorites. And I know the rivet counters are just going nuts right now. Well, guess what? If you're like me and you like to have fun, or you've seen these done in O-Gauge by MTH or Lionel, this is no stranger to a cool box car. So we're going to start with some close-up details. Now the eagle-eyed viewers will spot a few problems. Number one, the printing. You can see it kind of looks layered on, almost like if you did almost if you printed decals yourself. There's also a lot of ghosting along the bottom of this white stripe. Now that said, I know this is a tricky livery to get right, so bear in mind with this. And of course the UP96 bleeds onto the steps a little much. That could have been made a little smaller, but overall this is a nice car. I think for a first effort for a company, this is awesome. MTH again has really been the only company I've seen to do this. I mean, Lionel's of course are a little more freeform, but in O-Gauge, they have had these things floating around for years. So I think for the HO market, this is a really cool step. Now we're going to flip the car around so you guys can check out the other side. We'll do underbody as well here in a moment. So here with the car just kind of placed up again, you can see there's a little bleed with the UP 1996. I feel that could have been a little smaller just because it cuts into the daylight livery, cuts into the daylight striping right there, bleeds in onto the bottom of the frame. And again, there's a little bit of ghosting. Again, this is a first run product, so no, I mean, you're not going to get instantaneous perfect results, but I think this is very, very good. Especially given the alternative of this would be 100% design it yourself, paint it yourself, and go from there. But me personally, I bought it to go with this Daylight 40R back here and a few other cars, so it's going to be right at home. So looking at the ends, it's very Spartan. It's a nice glossy black though. The roof also is a nice semi-flat silver. Now for the underbody, everything is molded on, of course. I mean, this is a base level freight car. It's an entry level piece. So no, you're not going to have scale train rivet counter or even Athearn ready to run full on details on these. That said, everything's well proportioned. It looks good. And frankly, you're not going to be staring at the bottom of a freight car when running your trains. But then again, there's a close up on the Kadee roller bearing trucks and number 5 equipped couplers. That said, another thing I've noticed a little weird is this one does have a little bit of play in the coupler pocket. One side doesn't do this nearly as bad, but there is a little bit of lateral play in that. So just for kicks, here's our old roundhouse car from the 90s on top and the Value Trains USA. Now that said, this review is not meant to discourage you. In fact, this is just going to show you what you're getting. But that said, these cars are both made in the USA, and this proves to show, yeah, we can still make stuff here for a decent price. So overall, I paid $30 shipped for this boxcar. Now yes, for an entry-level product, that's getting up there, but at the same time, you could argue, yeah, Bluebox is cheaper, Roundhouse is cheaper, yes, even Athearn ready to run. But that said, ready to run, you have to automatically, if you're going to be running it a lot, you got to pay for a coupler upgrade. If you're doing Roundhouse or Bluebox, you got to switch out the wheel sets. This car comes ready to run with both of those already installed. Not to mention, a very adequate amount of weight in this car will easily set it apart in your fleet. Now in terms of just rolling about, I think it's very good. They've added the weight. It's not too heavy, but it's smooth enough to keep going. And as you saw when it broke away from the 40, it can definitely carry its own. So out of a 10, I would give this car a solid 6 or 7. And no, this isn't because it's a bad quality. I think it's a really neat quality for what you're getting. Again, the redeeming features of this car, Kadee couplers are factory, Kadee wheel sets are factory, it's got plenty of weight, and the printing is really cool. That said, there are a few downsides. Number one, the printing, but I understand this is a complicated livery and a complicated process. Number 2, there's a little bit of ghosting, like y'all can see up top. And 3, probably some scaling on the letters. But besides that, I think these are really cool. There's a ton of potential with this company, and I'm really excited to see where they go. And I wish them all the best with their business endeavors, and of course I wanted to support them out of the gate, and I highly recommend you guys do the same, because I mean, as a hobby we got to grow, we got to keep helping people out who are making the jump and go from there. So if you're looking at something like this, definitely pick it up. If you're not too picky, if you are picky, this might not be the car for you, but if you just enjoy something different, cool, and something that's definitely going to get attention at your next op session or even a show running, this is the ticket for you. So I'm going to leave you guys with a couple shots of this thing tootling around behind the 40R, but thank you guys for watching. I hope this is informative in your buying decisions.